Hello, in this tutorial we're going to visualize the physiologic ECG interpretation. Physiologic ECG interpretation. Now, physiologic ECG interpretation is a normal methodology of ECG interpretation. So in the normal methodology of ECG interpretation, you have to visualize the first thing, the rhythm. So there are 10 major aspects of your physiologic ECG interpretation that you have to visualize. As first element is the rhythm. Second element that you're going to visualize is the regularity. ECG. The third element that you're going to visualize is the rate. The fourth element that you visualize is the P wave. The fifth element that you visualize is the PR interval. The sixth element that you're going to visualize is the QRS complex. The seventh element that you visualize is the ST segment. The eighth element that you visualize is the QT interval. The ninth element that you visualize is the T wave. And lastly, the 10th element that you visualize is the U wave. So those are the 10 major steps that you have to move on when you visualize, when you want to interpret an ECG. 10 major steps. And we are going to visualize each element step by step. Now, to start with, we are going to visualize the first aspect, that is the rhythm. But in order for you to go first to the rhythm, you have to know the normal ECG. Generally, we take a normal ECG based on limb lead 2. Is it clear? The limb lead 2, L2. Now, this normal ECG that's taken on the L2, you have to know that the representation is going to be as such on a normal ECG. QRS complex, then you have the T wave. Is it clear? So you have to know the different elements of a normal ECG very well. Here is a P wave. Is it clear? Here is the P wave. Here is the Q, here is the R, here is the S. So all this is going to be the QRS complex. Here is the T wave. Here like this is a T wave. Is it clear? That is on a limb lead. That is on a limb lead. Is it clear? Limb lead 2. Now the next point that you have to visualize is that you have the different elements on ECG interpretation. Here still the P wave, here the QRS complex, here the T wave, and that's all. You may have the U wave. So now the P wave represents the atrial depolarization. Is it clear? The QRS complex represents the ventricular depolarization. Now, the atrial repolarization is overshadowed by the ventricular depolarization. So normally there's supposed to be an atrial repolarization, but you cannot visualize it because it is behind or overshadowed by this ventricular depolarization. Now, the next point is a T wave that represents the ventricular repolarization. Is it clear? Now, so here is the P, here is the QRS complex, here is a T wave. Now, where are the different intervals on the segment? Now, the PR interval starts from the beginning, so those are terms that you have to know. PR interval starts from the beginning of the P wave, and then it ends at the level of the PR interval. So at the beginning of the P wave and then ends at the level of the beginning of the QRS complex. So from here to here is a PR interval. PR interval, is it clear? Now you have also what is called the PR segment. The PR segment is from the end of the P wave to the beginning of the QRS complex. So that is the PR segment. From the end of the P wave to the beginning of the QRS complex. Basically, so here is the QRS complex. The next point is the QT segment, the QT interval. So the QT interval starts from